help us make sense of this government shutdown. How quickly do you think Americans are going to feel the pain?
Well, thanks for having me, Asieh. That's a $65,000 question. I think first of all that we have two sets of Americans that are going to be feeling pain. One is the federal employees that are going to be laid off, or even if they're not laid off, that won't be paid during the duration of the shutdown. And then you have the Americans who will suffer because of the services that are provided by government contractors and government recipients of grants and loans that are going to have to shut down their business. Some of them very essential. I mean, some of it could be, school meals and things like that. So anybody who is a beneficiary of a federal program is going to feel the effects of it pretty quickly. In 2018 was the last time we had a shutdown, and that shutdown lasted about 35 days. That's a long time to go without a paycheck. And most Americans who live paycheck to paycheck can't afford to do that.
So Congress, politicians on Capitol Hill, they're going to continue to get their paychecks, right?
Well, yeah, last night legislation was introduced by a Democratic congressman to pass legislation that wouldn't allow them to get paid. Of course, then the Republican administration is not going to take that legislation up, and it's not going to get passed. But ultimately, regardless of that, this is going to have to end up being a political solution, and that political solution will be driven by how the public communicates their distaste to one particular party, I believe.
So we're hearing accusations from both sides. Republicans blame Democrats, Democrats blame Republicans, and there are all kinds of accusations. Let me tell you what the Republicans, Vice President J.D. Vance, in fact, just a few hours ago, they claim the stalemate is over Democrats wanting health care funding for illegal immigrants. Democrats say that is not true. They say federal law prohibits the expenditure of taxpayer dollars on providing health care to undocumented immigrants. They say nowhere have we Democrats suggested that we're interested in changing federal law. Paul, who is right here?
Well, what Vice President Vance said is not factual, and what we would call that amongst normal people is a lie. There is absolutely zero, I heard him talk about it on TV today, there's zero truth to the fact that one dime of allocated Medicare, Medicaid funding or Obamacare funding will go to illegal immigrants. It is illegal to do that. What they're trying to conflate is the fact that illegals can still walk into the hospital and get services. Nothing in what the Democrats are asking affects that. That's just a condition that's always going to exist, and none of the funding for hospitals to do that is in play with what the Democrats are asking for. We're just talking about they're just talking about funding Medicare, Medicaid, and the Obamacare subsidies. That's it. It's illegal for anyone to pay illegal immigrants money or provide care pursuant to any of those programs.
Well, understood. You understand the law. So since we're talking about what's legal and what is not, is this legal, Paul? Banners on government websites accusing the radical left in Congress for the government shutdown. Is that legal?
It's not. It's a direct violation of the Hatch Act. The Hatch Act prevents any federal employees from engaging in political activity. That, of course, there's been case law on this for a long time. That is direct political activity, and that would be illegal. The problem is that we rely upon the Justice Department to enforce that, and Trump's Justice Department obviously will take no steps to enforce that. But that's patently illegal and a violation of the Hatch Act.
All right. Well, Paul Pelletier, you know all about the law. Thank you for dissecting fact versus fiction. Thank you so much, sir.
Much appreciated. Thanks, Asieh.
Okay.